Hola amigos y amigas, you are now with Jocelyn and I'm so grateful you are here. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. You already know all the goodness we're going to be getting into in this video. And if you are new here, welcome. I am so, again, grateful that you're here. If you enjoy lifestyle, spirituality, self-development, journaling, nature, and all of that good stuff, then make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my weekly videos and you join in on this beautiful, growing community. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 8 journaling prompts that are directly inspired by our upcoming new moon in Aquarius that we have taking place on February 1st, 2022. Now, this new moon and this day are significant and special because February 1st is also the Chinese Lunar New Year. And this year is the year of the water tiger. Characteristics of the water tiger include, but are not limited to, courage, bravery, strength, eagerness, willingness, enthusiasm. So don't be surprised if, as we approach this new moon, you start feeling some of these characteristics. And I encourage you to feel into and to embrace these characteristics as you are doing your new moon ritual and reflections, and as you are diving into these prompts I'm about to share with you. And February 1st might feel more like New Year's Day than January 1st did. And you might be feeling more inspired and ready and open to be setting your intentions for the year, which makes me partly so excited to share these journaling prompts with you, because all of these prompts are really going to be assisting us in setting our intentions and being mindful about how we are showing up in this world and really checking in with ourselves. So without further ado, y'all, let's get into these 8 journaling prompts. In what new ways am I receiving myself and my life? I believe it was for our recent full moon where I shared a prompt that had something to do about bringing more balance into our lives and focusing on how it is that we are giving and how it is that we are receiving. I feel like there are many in the collective that have been waking up to all the ways in which they have been giving and giving and giving. And now, stepping into this year, it's like, I am receiving, okay? I'm not over giving anymore. I am receiving, I'm opening myself up to receive. And in this prompt, I wanted to not only highlight, how we are newly receiving in our lives, but how we are newly receiving ourselves. Because I feel like there's also this newfound inspiration and passion and commitment to receive ourselves more authentically, to no longer hold ourselves back, to no longer dim our light, to no longer be putting aspects of ourselves off that we now feel called to bring out and share with the world and embrace and embody and really just continue to transition into just being our full, authentic, true selves. So I really wanted to share this prompt with you, and I'm excitedly doing so because I feel this is one that many of us can relate to. So, my friend, how are you newly receiving yourself and your life? How has my experience in 2021 given me clarity for my experience in 2022? This is a time, and you may have already been feeling this as we're progressing into the new moon, but this is a time where many of us are going to be gaining clarity and receiving revelations on why certain things happened the way that they did in 2021 and how that divine order is going to be contributing to our experience in this year. Many of us are going to start understanding how last year has assisted us in the growth we're going to experience this year, in the healing we're going to experience this year, in the ascension we're going to experience this year. So I wanted to hold space for that clarity and for those revelations that many of us will be receiving at this time, so that we can really sit with them and we can really acknowledge them and we can journal them on paper and affirm that we are understanding all the ways in which our experience in 2021 is playing a role, a divine role, in our experience in 2022. What am I doing now that is contributing to my life in the long term? The past couple of years have really gifted us so much reflection and introspection, and in large part, that reflection and introspection has had to do with the long term, has had to do with the bigger picture. And on top of that, a lot of that reflection and introspection has had to do with, if whether or not how we've been investing our time and energy now up to this point has been contributing to the kind of long-term vision, the kind of bigger picture that we sincerely desire to experience and manifest. Many of us are really understanding that what we are doing now are laying the bricks to our foundation. Many of us are realizing, where our foundation is unstable or unhealthy, and we need to take care of those things. So many are coming into this beautiful space of acknowledging and taking care of their needs with the intention for, those things that they are doing now, those ways in which they are investing their time and energy is contributing to, again, the long term, to the bigger picture, to the future that they sincerely dream of experiencing and manifesting. And this is going to be heightened under this new moon. And I know many of us have been feeling this increasingly so as we've stepped into this new year. We're being more mindful of okay, this is the kind of future I want. This is the kind of long-term vision I see. This is the kind of bigger picture I envision for my life. And I understand that what it is that I'm doing now is contributing to that. So I need to be mindful. So for those of you that really resonate with this, what are you doing now in your life, that is contributing to the long term? And really affirm that on the page. What revelations have I gained in regards to my soul purpose and mission? As I mentioned, much clarity and revelation is visiting us in this season, and it's a beautiful divine time for it to do so because, as I said in the last prompt, we are focusing on our foundation at this time. And when we are working on our foundation, we're going to need that clarity. We're going to need those revelations, especially in regards to our soul purpose and our mission, which is the reasoning behind why it is that we are doing what we're doing, why it is that we're investing our time and energy the way that we are doing so. And if you are listening to this, and I'm sure perhaps you've come across it on other platforms or pages or whatever the case may be, people talking about, their purpose and their mission and their calling, and maybe you feel left out, maybe you feel like you're not gaining this clarity, you're not gaining these revelations that other people are seemingly gaining or are saying that they're gaining. And what's important to note is that even just a hint of curiosity is a sign of clarity, is a sign of revelation, is a hint of it. And it's important that we listen to those curiosities, that we explore them. You know, when people ask me how I've become clear on, you know, my purpose and my mission and my calling and what it is that I want to do in the world, I mean, I'm sure there's still so much that I'm not aware of that I want to do, and I'm going to grow into them as I evolve. But there was definitely a time where I was like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't know exactly. I mean, I know what I'm interested in. So I started leaning into those interests and exploring them. I started, you know, trying ideas and failing at many, but figuring out, okay, I thought I was interested in this. I was curious about this. I thought of this idea. And once I explored it, I realized that it's not for me. And us realizing and learning what is not for us is just as important and significant as learning about what is for us. So if you're still in that space of not knowing exactly what your mission or purpose in this life is, one, explore. Okay, you're not going to find out if you're not exploring new things, if you're not leaning into your curiosities and interests. And two, I do highly recommend that you observe and look back on what it is that you loved to do when you were a child, because as I've been diving into my own personal healing and spiritual awakening and inner child work, I really have been realizing, like, wow, all the things that I loved to do when I was a child are the things that I'm feeling called to do in this life. So this prompt is for everyone, okay? I don't want anyone to feel left out on it, whether it's, you know, clarity on an exact purpose and mission, or if it's a curiosity on a purpose or a mission. I want us to write them down, to expand on them with this prompt. How would I personally and spiritually define a meaningful and supportive life? I think that what's partly going to make this year so special is the fact that we've done so much reflecting and introspecting in the past couple of years. And that a lot of, again, that reflecting and introspection has had to do with the long term and how, you know, it is that we are showing up in the world today. And many of us are really craving to manifest and experience a meaningful life, meaningful experiences, meaningful friendships, relationships, conversations, careers. And on top of that, a supportive life, supportive friendships, supportive relationships, supportive conversations and careers, and a supportive life, a life that we feel supported by. So how, you know, as this version of you in this season of your life, in this new year, let's get really clear on it. How would you personally, because everyone's definition of meaningfulness and supportiveness is going to be different, and rightfully so, because we all have our own unique purposes. We all have our own unique callings and passions and interests and experiences that have shaped us into who we uniquely are. And it's important that we individually define this for ourselves and act upon it. And I really just wanted to hold space for that, for us to define, you know, what a meaningful and supportive life looks like, as well as what it feels like, and really just get into all the five senses, you know, what it tastes like, what it sounds like. What am I missing? Taste, touch, smell, sound, C, yeah, you get the point. But be as specific and detailed as possible in your definition. Do I find myself taking leaps of faith and trusting my intuition? And if yes, how so? I already know that some of you have been taking risks and making sacrifices and leaping into the abyss of the unknown and into uncertainty and really choosing to trust your intuition, trust what you feel intuitively called to do. And for those of you who answered yes to this prompt, I encourage you to get to the page and journal about, how it is that you are taking leaps of faith and how it is that you are trusting your intuition. And if you want to expand on it even more, answer why. Why are you, not only how, but why are you taking leaps of faith? Why are you choosing to actively trust your intuition amidst these leaps and risks and sacrifices? And I want you to know that you're not alone. And I want you to know that, just like I was mentioning in the previous prompt, we all have our own unique purposes in this life. That is why we're here. If you are here, you have a purpose, a unique one that is only yours, one that only looks and feels and sounds and tastes the way that you would purposefully manifest it and do it and experience it and dream it and see it and envision it. So because of that, it requires that you bring your purpose to life. And that purpose doesn't exist yet. And when we are creating and pursuing something that doesn't exist yet, we are required to go against the grain, to go against the norm, because what we are creating isn't normal. It's unique. It's purposeful. Not that in normal there isn't purposefulness, but if you are doing a one of one thing, if you are manifesting, pursuing, creating a one of one thing, it is going to require leaps of faith and trusting your intuition. And I want you to know that success in fulfilling your purpose is followed by those leaps of faith, is followed by those continuous, consistent acts of trusting your intuition. So I just wanted to affirm you, as I brought this prompt up, that you're not alone and that, the leaps of faith, the trusting of intuition, the risks and the sacrifices do lead to success. They are worth it, especially if they're intentional and especially if they're purposeful. And I'm proud of you, and I hope you're proud of yourself as you are diving into this prompt. What am I intentionally choosing to embrace and embody? As I am sharing this with you now, I'm realizing that embrace and embody are synonyms of receiving, and this prompt is similar to the first prompt I shared with you, and I considered switching it out and creating a new prompt, but I was like, you know what? This prompt may hit different for some of you, so I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it and share it with you all. So what are you intentionally choosing to embrace and embody under this new moon, into this new year and Chinese Lunar New Year? And Again, tapping into the energy of the water tiger. Courageously, bravely, strongly, willingly, eagerly, enthusiastically, what are you embracing and embodying, both within yourself and without yourself, both inside of you and outside of you? This is a simple but powerful intention setting prompt that I encourage you all to do if you feel called to specifically talk about embracement, I don't know if that's a word, and embodiment. When I envision myself showing up fully and fulfilled in this world, what does that look and feel like? I would love every single one of us to journal this prompt and do so confidently. Maybe even have a meditative moment with ourselves where we are closing our eyes and really tapping into that vision. What do we see? What do we feel when we envision ourselves showing up fully and fulfilled in this world moving forward? Allow yourself to dream big. Allow yourself to get rid of any boundaries or limits that you may have imposed on yourself in the past. Let those go, even if it's just for this one moment, for this one prompt, and fully dive in. Dive into how showing up fully in this world looks like and feels like to you. How, it looks and feels like for you to really be fulfilled every single day. Waking up excited to show up fully and going to bed fulfilled. What does that look and feel like? Have that meditative moment. Sit down, make some tea, close your eyes, play some background spa-like music, and, just really tap into that vision for this prompt. This is a prompt, again, that I would love for all of us to do. I encourage all of us to do. And if you do end up doing this prompt and feel comfortable sharing a part of what you wrote down, I would love for you to share a sentence or two of what you wrote, of what you envision for yourself, and what that looks and feels like when you're doing so fully and fulfilled in the comment box below. And that, my friends, are the 8 journaling prompts for our upcoming new moon in Aquarius that we have taking place on February 1st, 2022, which again is also the Chinese Lunar New Year. And this is the year of the water tiger. So let us affirm that this year we are showing up, embodying and embracing the energy of the water tiger. Strong, courageous, brave, willing, eager, enthusiastic. I pray that you resonated with at least one of these prompts. And if you did, I'd love to know which one in the comments below. And again, if you end up answering that last prompt, I'd love for you to share with us and for us to cultivate our visions and affirm them in the comment box below. I claim this to be a safe space, but if you're not feeling it, todo bien, it's all good. I just thank you all so much for being here. So if you're not already subscribed, click subscribe because I'd love to see you around these parts again. And I'm wishing all of us the most clarifying, fulfilling new moon. I look forward to seeing some of you, maybe all of you, in the next video. So much love. and gratitude and blessings. Bye.